Hey guys, this is Mr. Edge again. Hey, I wanted to do a couple of the problems from the domain and range worksheet that I gave you. I'm going to do some of the easy ones. I'm going to do a couple easy ones, and then I'm going to go to some of the ones that are a little bit more challenging, right? So I'm going to start with number 7. So basically, you should ask yourself, is this continuous? Yes, it is. You can get from one side of the graph to the other side without having to do anything without lifting your pencil. Is it a function? Yes, it's a function because it passes the vertical line test. So I would say yes. Now, so if it's continuous, we can box it up. So I'm going to start here. Let me make this a little bigger. I'm going to start here and I'm going to go down here. And then I'm going to go over here. And then I'm going to go up to here. And then I'm going to go across here. Oops, let me try that again. I'm going to go over here. All right. So I got it inside a rectangle, the smallest rectangle that the graph will be able to fit inside. Now that I've done that, to find the domain, I just go to the x values. It starts at a -9 and it ends at 11. So I'm going to go from a -9 to a +11. This is a closed circle. This is a closed circle. So it's going to be bracket, bracket, boom, that one's done. Pretty easy. Now, the range, we just go to the y values. The y values, -4 and a +9. So I'm going to go from a -4 to a +9. I'm touching the output line here, and I'm also touching the output line here. So we would put brackets around it. Boom, that's done. That's it. That's all you can do for that. All right, let me see. What else do I want to do? Let's try number 16. All right, number 16. Is this continuous? Let me see if I can get this moved up. No, it's not continuous because there's this big gap that's there. So we can say, no, it's not continuous. Is it a function? Yes, it is a function because it passes the vertical line test. So you would say, yes, it passes VLT. Now, what's the domain? All right, so even though it's not continuous, we have two smaller continuous pieces. So I could make this, I could put this in a box and put this in a box. And then I can go up here and I can do the same thing. I can put this little piece of the function in a box and put this in a box. Now, all I got to do is I'm still going to read the x values and for the domain, and then I'm going to read the y values for the range. So in this case, this graph starts at a -4 and it goes to a -1, right? And this is an open circle. This is a closed circle. So this one is going to get a bracket. This one's going to get a parentheses. And then we're just going to jump to the other box and get the rest of the domain from there. So this is going to be 2. It starts at 2 and it goes all the way over to 8. And then I'm going to put those are both closed circles. So it's going to be 2 brackets. Now, the only thing I need to do to indicate that there's a disconnect here or it's not continuous is I just put a U in there. That stands for unite. That means I'm going to take both of those domains and put them together to get the total domain. All right. Now, we're going to do almost the same thing with the range. So the range starts at a -4 and it goes to a -2. So it's going to be a -4 up to a -2. And it's going to be bracket, parentheses. And then I'm going to jump up here and look at this. It's going to go from 5 up to 8. And again, this is a closed circle. This one is touching the output line 5. So we're going to put brackets around it. And the last thing I need to do is put a U around it for unite. And so I'm going to take those two pieces and put them together to get the total range. All right, let's see. What else do I want to do? Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to try one in here. Nope, not from here, let's see. Yeah. I'm going to do number 20, and then I'm just going to call it a day. All right, so here is the graph. Is it continuous? No, it is not, because I have to jump from here, lift my pencil to get to this part. Actually, I didn't have a pink. So I gotta jump from here to get to here, so it's not continuous. So I'll put no. Is it a function? The only place that's a question mark would be here. And it only hits the graph once. This is an open circle, so the vertical line is not hitting anything there, right? So it passes the vertical line test. So you would say yes, pass, VLT. And then the domain, right? So now let's box this up. Well, actually, this is just a horizontal line going this way. So this is going to a negative infinity, and it stops at a -1. And then we jump down here and let's box this up. So we're going to have a box here. We're going to go over to here, and then we're going to go up, and then we're going to go over, and we make the box. Now, so we could go, the domain for this is a negative infinity over to a -1, right? But then we got to go from a -1, if we look at this box now, over. And by the way, we got to do this. This arrow is going up in the y direction to infinity, and then it's also going out to the right in the x direction to infinity. So then, once we got that, we have, so this is going from a negative infinity, -1, that's where the box starts, and it goes to a positive infinity. Now, this is how you would kind of normally write it, right? But the -1 is in both of these. So basically, there's no gap in there. So the way that we would actually write this is we would go a negative infinity all the way over to a positive infinity. And this would be, look, this is supposed to be a parentheses. So this would be a parentheses, and this would be a parenthesis. There is no gap in the domain. Even though we have to jump, we jump straight down, and we're still, there's no hole there where we can't get to a -1. -1 is in the domain. If we were doing the range, we would start here at a -3. And how high do we go? Well, we don't have to worry about this because that's just a horizontal line. The box, it ends here, but you can see it has an arrow, so it's actually going up to a positive infinity. So we're going from a -3 to a positive infinity. A -3 would get a bracket, the infinity would get a parentheses, and that's it. We're done. All right. That's it. If you have any questions, let me know, but that's basically what we're doing.